Sleep deprivation has been used as a form of torture for a reason, because it affects us both physically and mentally. And as new parents, often we're just thrown into the deep end, expected to balance our baby's needs with our own needs whilst functioning on very little sleep. And today we're talking all about those sleepless nights and the reality of baby sleep. If you're in the thick of it, if you're navigating those sleepless nights right now, just know you are not alone. The exhaustion, the unpredictability, the constant night wakings, it can be damn tough at times, but just know that you're not alone, and there are certainly steps we can take, steps that I'm going to be discussing in this video to make navigating that journey much easier. So firstly, we need to acknowledge, and this took me quite a while to realize as a new parent, that sleep deprivation is real and sleep deprivation can be damn brutal at times. So I spoke with Kerry Secker on my podcast, and I'll put a link to the episode in the description below, and I'll put a card somewhere on this video so you can watch the episode in full. Kerry has actually worked with families for over 20 years as a nanny, and shortly after transitioning away from being a nanny, she moved towards working with families, navigating their baby's sleep more gently. So even before she became a parent, she had roughly 25 years experience in working with parents, their families and their babies. And this is what she had to say about the first night with her newborn baby.
But also that first night home from the hospital was wild. I just did not expect that. I remember sitting on the sofa with a crying baby thinking, she's just not got the memo. I'm a sleep consultant. What's happening? Why is she not asleep? It was really, really hard.
No matter how much experience you have or how prepared you think you are, there's nothing that can prepare you for those sleepless nights in the early days and weeks with your new baby. But there's good news. It does get easier. And that isn't because the sleepless nights just magically stop. It's because we learn all about our baby. We learn about our baby's rhythm, their cues, what they need from us as their parent. And all of this helps us to navigate through those nights much more seamlessly with our baby. So let me share a little about my experience as a dad navigating sleep in those early days and weeks. When our first was born, Luca, we had no idea what sleep would look like for our family. So when Luca was born, he slept on his own separate surface in our room. My wife was breastfeeding at the time, so this made life much easier. He then transitioned into a cot that was next to our bed, and eventually I got out the tools and raised the base of the cot so it was level with our mattress, and I removed the side of the cot and essentially opened up the cot into our bed so it served as an extension to our bed. And at this point, Luca was 2, my wife was still breastfeeding, but the fact was we were all getting a great night's sleep, and this setup, having the cot open up into the bed with my wife still breastfeeding, worked really well for us. But it's at this point the questions started coming in from friends and family. When is Luca going into his own room? Why is he still co-sleeping with you in your bed? But my wife and I blocked out all of this noise and focused on what was right for us and our family. And this is the biggest tip I can give any expecting or new parent. You really do need to focus on what works for you and your family and what not society expects you to be doing by a certain age. And we ended up co-sleeping with Luca for 4.5 years, and it worked wonderfully in allowing us all to get a great night's sleep because, we were there, we were next to him. I'm not saying he didn't wake up, but I imagine when he woke up to, stitch those sleep-like cycles together, we were next to him, and that was all he needed to transition into the next cycle. And if you want to learn more about our co-sleeping journey, I'll put a card up so you can watch a video. Essentially, it's a Q&A video of me fielding questions from my Instagram followers about our co-sleeping journey of 4.5 years. And the fact is, we were led by Luca's readiness and not what society expects babies and children to be doing at certain ages to foster independence. And if this is a journey you're taking, just to give you a spoiler alert, Luca now sleeps independently at 6.5 years of age in his own room. He's been in there for almost 2 years, and he's as independent as any other child at school his age. He plays football in a league with children that are 1 to 2 years older than him. He swims. He's done taekwondo for 3 years now. And this isn't to brag that my child is doing this and that. This is just to say we need to move away from the myth that if we co-sleep, if we breastfeed beyond the first year, then we're creating needy and dependent children, because that just isn't the case. When we nurture our kids and respond to their needs, they develop the confidence to become independent in their own time. Co-sleeping didn't make Luca needy or dependent. It gave him the security he needed to grow and evolve into the independent and confident 6-year-old he is today. And that's something I really want to emphasize. There's no one size fits all when it comes to our baby's sleep. Every baby is different. Some sleep through the night early on, like our baby Mia. I think she was 5 months old when she was able to stitch those cycles together and sleep through the night. It was very short-lived. I think it happened once or twice, but compared with Luca, who was 2.5 before he ever did anything like that. And that's okay. What matters is finding what works for you and your family while setting realistic expectations for your baby. I'm really passionate about this topic, as you can tell, because there's so much rubbish shared online, certainly social media, when it comes to what we should expect from our babies at a certain age when it comes to their sleep. So I decided to survey my Instagram followers to dive a little bit deeper when it came to expectations around our baby's sleep, and thankfully over 1,100 of you responded. I asked, do you think your expectations of normal baby sleep going into parenthood were realistic? And of the 1,126 parents that answered, 69% said they felt their expectations were unrealistic. And of those who said their expectations were unrealistic, I asked, what do you feel could have better prepared you for those sleepless nights? And the results were 62% said they needed more awareness around what normal baby sleep looked like. 22% said they needed more help through the night. 14% said nothing, and 2% said other. And the most popular other responses were more awareness around co-sleeping and how to bed share safely. And this is the key point. So many parents feel like they're failing or their baby is broken because their baby doesn't fit into this perfect mold of what baby sleep should look like, or their baby isn't sleeping through the night at a certain age. But let me tell you, there is no magic formula. Babies wake up, they need comfort, they need their parent, and this doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. In fact, responding to those needs is exactly what helps your baby to feel safe and secure. And as Lindsay Hookway, a leading expert in infant sleep, said in her book, Let's Talk About Your New Family's Sleep, sleep isn't a battlefield and your baby isn't a sleep thief. We need to shift our perspective and understanding that night wakings are completely normal, especially in the first year. Having realistic expectations about what our baby's sleep should look like can really help us to reduce those frustrations and manage our stress during those sleepless nights. Because when we set expectations that are unrealistic, for example, our baby needs to be sleeping through the night at 6 months, then we just set ourselves up for disappointment night after night. So my advice to all new parents is this: take a deep breath and give yourself some grace. Your baby's sleep is not a problem to be solved, it's a journey to be experienced. Every baby is different and their sleep patterns will reflect that, whether they're up every 2 hours or sleeping through the night. It's all part of the process. I'll be diving deeper into baby sleep in future videos, exploring developmental milestones and helping parents to set realistic expectations for their baby's sleep. So be sure to hit subscribe and the notification bell and stay tuned for future parenting content. Thanks so much for watching this video, and if you're in the throes of those sleepless nights right now, just remember, this phase shall pass. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.